Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Right, so those that have been following the channel for a while have known that recently I've been playing something called DCS Liberation, specifically DCS Liberation 2.0, written by a chap named Khopa, and I've been absolutely enamored with it. I've really loved it. I've felt that, one of the things that DCS was relatively lacking on was a good kind of content-rich single-player experience in the game, something that's dynamic and kind of moves with you as you have an impact on the battle space, and something that's not scripted. And so, I've been really loving DCS Liberation, and I was working with release candidate 9, which had, as with any kind of software, will have some kind of issues and bugs. And so the good thing about DCS Liberation is that it's still alive. It's still being developed and worked on by Khopa and others. And just yesterday, release candidate 10 was released. And in fact, I am 18 hours late to the party. But release candidate 10, you can see here on the screen, was released yesterday. So I thought what I'd do with this video is just go through some of the features and improvements, some of the fixed issues, and then actually, I've not done it yet. I've deleted my old version of DCS Liberation. So for those of you who are following that campaign, I'm sorry, but that campaign's gone. I'm going to start a new one. And I thought what I'd do is work through these features and improvements, work through these fixed issues, and then download and install, get DCS Liberation running and start a new campaign. And I'll probably break the video there, and then I'll start future videos with the new campaign. Right, so I am very excited about this. I haven't worked my way through this. I've just literally found this and started recording. So you'll have to excuse me if I fumble my way through this. Now, before I get into it, one of the things that I had noticed about the previous version was that when I was selecting cold start on the carrier, I was still starting in the F-18 hot, no matter what I tried to do in terms of the selecting of that. So that's one thing I'm hoping that Khopa is fixed. The other one is sometimes I was finding that when you're launching off the deck of the carrier's escorts, the destroyers and cruisers that were escorting the carrier, were a bit too close, and there was once where I was launching and nearly ran into the destroyer that was in front of us. That's another one that I'm looking for a fix for. I don't know if they're in here or not. We'll see. Right, so features and improvements. Miscellaneous. Now possible to save the game in a different file and then open DCS Liberation save game files. Not restricted to a single save file anymore. How cool is that? That's very neat. Okay, that's cool. New dark UI theme, default theme improvements by Deus. I don't know who Deus is, but thank you, Deus. I tend to like a dark theme for anything. Everything you can see, I'm running a dark theme here in my browser. Cool. All right, that's good. I like that. New satellite map backgrounds. Okay, so that's the map backgrounds that change those. That might be kind of cool. Base menu is opened with a single mouse click. Okay, that's good. Didn't think that was much of an issue before, but I get it if people want that. Okay, so added some units, factions, and mods. A4E, which I haven't flown yet, and everybody says I really should try it. It looks pretty awesome. So I really should try it at some point, especially considering it's a mod, it's a free mod. The MB339 PAN support. I think this is an Italian training aircraft. Training and light aircraft, training and light attack aircraft. I'll get that spit out at some point. I've never flown that as well. I tend to just focus on my dear old F-18, as you've seen. But yeah, I might try that at some point. Added Rafale AI mod support. That's cool. So you can put Rafales in. Added France modded units from French mod pack 3.5. I don't know what that is. Added Insurgent modded with Insurgent units from French from that pack there. Again, I don't know what that is. Added Canada, woohoo! Yeah, flying the colors. I am so selecting Canada for one of mine. My good buddies in Australia as well. Japan, cool. USA aggressors. Private military company, interesting. Okay. New game wizard. Okay, added the list of required mods for modded factions. Okay, that's kind of cool. No more red v blue opposing faction restrictions. Oh, I see. Okay, so they might have had some restrictions on the kind of different belligerent forces that you selected. Okay. New campaign generation settings added. No aircraft carrier, no LHA. That's the thing that the helicopters and Harrier take off from. No Navy, invert map starting positions. Invert map starting positions. Does that mean that I can actually fly in defense of Iran? That would be interesting. Artillery units will start firing mission after a random delay. It should reduce lag spikes induced by artillery strikes by spreading them out. Okay, well, I might have been. I didn't noticeably see any kind of lag spikes at the beginning of missions, but maybe other people were, so that's a good thing. Okay, mission generator. Ground units will retreat after taking too many casualties. That's good. Artillery units will retreat if engaged. I did notice that artillery units, even self-propelled artillery units, which had the option of withdrawing if they were getting engaged, weren't, so that's good. The briefing will now contain the carrier ATC frequency. That was one that I did ask Khopa for in one of my videos, so Khopa, thank you very much for putting that in. The briefing contains a small situation update. Okay, cool. Previously destroyed units are visible in the mission. Okay, disable this behavior. Okay. Basic JTAC on front. Whoa, no way. Basic JTAC functions on the front lines. Oh man, that's going to be cool. I wonder what basic JTAC functions are, even if it's just pointing to new aircraft. If there's some lasing functions, that'll be really cool. All right. Added the Tarawa in the Caucasus campaign. I haven't flown the Caucasus campaign, and I don't fly the Harrier. I do own it, but I don't fly it. Turned the various existing campaign parameters. Okay, so there's some tuning there. And added a small campaign, Russia, on the Caucasus theater. Okay, cool. Very cool. All right, that looks... I think there's a lot of really cool new improvements there, new features, and I'm pretty excited to try this now. Okay, so fixes, fixes for bugs. So mission generator carrier will sail into the wind, not in the same direction. That's good. Carrier cold start. Hey, there it is. Flight was starting warm even when the cold was selected. Hey, that's the one. Cool. Thank you, Khopa. Awesome. Carrier group ships now more spread out. Hey, look, he's literally, it's like he's reading from my mind. Awesome. Cool. Fixed wrong radio frequency for German. So I don't tend to fly those, but okay. Another one, warbirds. Fixed Su-33 spawning too heavy to take off from the carrier. Okay. I didn't know that was an issue, but okay. AV-8B spawning too heavy to take off from the Tarawa, so that's the same issue there. Base defense units were not controllable with combined arms. I don't have CA, so I've not used it. Tanker speed was too low. That must have been tough. Tanker TACAN channels were wrong. AI aircraft should start data link on. That's good. Base defense units should not spawn on the runway or taxiway. This is good. Again, I fly from the carrier, so I've not had that problem, but that could be kind of really hard to get around. Fixed all flight starting in flight after playing a few missions. Okay, that's a parking spot. Again, I didn't experience an issue there, but okay. Fixed all flight starting in flight. No, I just read that. Mission Lewis script will not listen to weapons fired event anymore and register every fired event. This should improve. Oh, I see. Okay. So, yeah, I'd imagine every time something fired a flak gun, if it had to store that in a log file somewhere, that probably was was grinding missions to a bit of a halt. A, I don't fly World War II, and B, I wasn't, experiencing an issue with that logging. I have a pretty beefy computer, but yeah, okay, cool. Well, that's good. Carrier name will now not appear for faction who do not have carriers. Okay, again, I didn't know when it was an issue. SA-10 sites will now have tracking radar. That makes sense. Remove the Jeff from the USA 2005 faction. That's sad, I'm sure, but the Jeff is not really a US aircraft. Remove the Viggen from Russia 2010. Okay, interesting. Remove the Perry, the Oliver Hazard Perry class from Cold War factions. Too powerful SAM systems for the era. Yeah, fair enough. On the Persian Gulf map campaign, full map campaign, the two carriers were sharing the same idea. This was causing a lot of bugs. Yeah, I'd imagine it was. Cool. Performance tuned the culling settings so that you cannot run into a situation where no friendly or enemy AI flights were generated. This was an issue in the last mission, the last video that I put up. I'll put a link to it somewhere here. This was a bit of an issue in that mission, in that I was alone against pretty much everything that the Iranian side threw at me. So that's good. Application doesn't gracefully exit. I think I ran into that once. Other minor issues. Cool. Okay, well, lots of fixes and lots of new features. So thank you, Khopa, and anybody else. I think you mentioned somebody named Deus. And anybody else who's been involved in this, thank you so much. So let's download it. There we go. I'm just going to stick it on the desktop because I'm lazy. There it goes. It's downloading now. And through the miracle of video editing, it's downloaded and extracted. So I've just extracted it here. So what we'll do is we'll open that up. DCS Liberation main.exe, that's the one. So let's click there. And instantly, it looks a bit different. Right. But enough similar to overlap with the other one. Let's go to settings first before we click on a new campaign. Oh, maybe it needs to be in a campaign. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, well, let's start a new one first. All right, go here. Wizard. Introduction. Okay, cool. Right. Wow, yeah, that is a lot more. Look, they've added a ton of new options. That's pretty cool, including the A4, and there's the MB339. Pretty neat. All right, we'll go Blue 4 Modern. And we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna go to Iran. There they are, Iran 2015. So MiG-29 Alphas, F4Es, F-14Bs, some F5s, MiG-21s, Su-24s, Su-25s, some other aircraft. Cool. All right, do it. Let's take it. Done. Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go to the Persian Gulf and we're gonna do the invasion of Iran. We're not gonna invert the map. And we're gonna start, what are we gonna start? Modern. Let's go fall, autumn of 2010. Done. Cool. Next. Start at mid-game. No. That's disabled anyways. We definitely want carriers. We definitely want the LHA. We do want the super carrier. No player navy, no enemy navy. No, we'll leave those off. Okay, here we go. Finish. I think it's probably chugging away right now. Oh yeah, it is. The satellite imagery thing is very different, isn't it? Look at that. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. All right. And you can see all kinds of threat circles there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. All right. Well, there's our new campaign. Looks similar to the last one. Obviously, the UI is quite updated. So now let's try settings. Here we go. Okay. Player coalition skill. Come on. We're awesome. We are ninjas. That's fine. That's fine. Ooh, we don't want all the labels on. We'll go to dot labels only. I like night missions. I like leaving them on. I know that they don't always give you guys an awful lot to see, but I think it's pretty realistic. The 18 is going to fly at night. So, okay, that all sounds good. Mission generator. Use the super carrier. Yep. Put objective markers on the map. Yep. Use JTAC if available. Yes, yes, yes. How cool is that? May improve performance. Like I said, I've got a pretty beefy computer, so I'm going to leave all these things on. I just spotted that. Include destroy units carcass. That's that thing that he was mentioning, that Khopa was mentioning in the release notes. I see. So destroyed units stay on the map. Okay. Well, we could tick that off, but I think what I'm going to try and do is leave that on and see if it has a big impact on frame rates. Cool. And I'm not going to click on the culling. I think I'm all right. Now, last time I cheated. I'm going to try not cheating this time. I found that we were, kicking ass pretty early on. So I'm going to try not cheating and see what happens. So here we go. This is the map. We're ready to go. The statistics, there's nothing. So we're going to go to the Teddy Roosevelt. And we're going to get some jets. Let's see if we can... is that... Ooh. Okay. It doesn't move that way, apparently. There is a bit of clipping going on in the font there. It's probably because I'm in 4K. Okay. Can't get it to change. That's not an N. I don't think that looks like it's a 0. probably should change my resolution at some point, but I like 4K. All right, F-18 Hornet. Let's get 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. All right. And then there's 4 Arleigh Burkes. Good. Close that down. So we're down to 554. We had 650. Now we're down to 554. Bandar Abbas. Right, here are the aircraft. What are we going to put here? What are we going to put here? Let's say that the U.S. Air Force has predominantly put forces here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put F-16s. 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put some A-10 Charlies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, ground forces. We need to give these guys some ground forces. We're going to get some Humvees, 2 Bradleys, 2 Strykers, 2 Abrams, and 2 Paladins. We don't have enough money for multiple launch rocket systems yet. Now, if we click here, ouch! Ouch! Ugh, okay. Harsh. We're down to 230 million. All right, let's go to Havadaria. See if we can help get some aircraft and stuff like that here. We're probably going to have to not take kind of full wings of aircraft. I say wings, flights. I think a flight is 4 aircraft, isn't it? All right. What do we got here? Let's say that the Canadians are here actually, and we'll put some F-18s on the ground here. Now, in real life, Canada doesn't fly the Charlie Hornet; it flies the Alpha Bravo. The CF-18 is based on the Alpha Hornet, so we don't tend to fly. Canada doesn't tend to fly the Charlie, although I did see Boeing has put in a bid to replace them with the new Super Hornet. I think Block 4. Which is the modern one with conformal fuel tanks and everything. That looks pretty cool. So we'll put 4 Hornets there. Or ground attack. Yeah, see, I'm wary about spending 22 million on an A-10 Charlie. We could put some Alphas there, but I'll tell you what, AV-8Bs are even cheaper at 14 million. Or we could go Viggens at 12. I'm going to go AV-8Bs. I'm going to put 4 of them there. All right, and ground forces. I don't know how much I've got left to play with here, but what are we going to put? I'm going to put 2 Humvees. I'm going to put Martyrs here because they're cheaper. 2 Martyrs. Put a couple Strykers, and then we'll put Leopards, although they're the same price. Oh. We're out of money. We are out of money. Bummer. All right, well, we need that. We'll just put 1 Leopard there. Or are we better off putting like 2 more Strykers rather than 1? Yeah, let's do that. We'll put 2 Strykers there. Do we have enough for 1 more? No. Enough for any of these? Yeah. Let's do that. No. Okay. Let's put a bunch of Humvees there. Well, we are literally broke. We have spent all of our money. All right, we're out. This front line here might be relatively weak. It might really struggle to contain Iranian forces here, depending on how strong their kind of forces are in this area. I think what we'll probably do is maybe in our first mission, go up here and see if we can't help by thinning them out a little bit. And see how these guys fare. So, last thing I need to do to just get ready for the campaign is click pass turn. There it is. It's no longer the morning. We're kind of mid-afternoon. Reinforcements have arrived everywhere, but you saw the front line got pushed back in both of these locations. So the Iranians are pushing us back. And you can see this is not far from Havadaria. Now, the last thing we want is for either of these two to get taken, because, yeah, that's going to make it very hard. Well, I don't know. Does the game stop then? Because we don't have any ground. I don't know. Whatever the case is, we don't want it to happen. Cool. Well, that's the setup of DCS Liberation 2.0 release candidate 10. If you've not got it, go get it. It's I'll put a link to that new release candidate page that I showed at the beginning in the description for this video on YouTube. So just go down to the description. Go grab it. It looks awesome. Looks very different. I haven't flown it yet, so that'll be the next video. Until then, stay happy, stay healthy, look after each other. Samurai 11 is RTB.